With oil prices still over $100 a barrel, one thing is certain: oil companies are going to make big profits. But misconceptions abound about the connection between high oil prices and high profits. After years of observing the reactions of both the public and our political leaders, it seems like they believe something like the following fictional narrative. They can see ExxonMobil's executives sitting around a smoke-filled boardroom, saying, "Well, we have the public right where we want them. It's time to jack up the price of gasoline and gouge them while we can. Put a bulletin out to all of our gas stations and let them know. Oh, and call Chevron CVX and Shell and make sure they are on board." I know people believe this, because I have had them repeat every element of this story to me at one time or another. So they rage at the oil companies. They demand that they be held accountable. Politicians call them up to Washington and chastise them for the harm they are doing to consumers. However, no part of that fictional story is realistic. The only thing that is true is that high oil prices translate to high profits for oil companies. But think about this. Why do oil companies ever lose money if they are in control of prices? Do you ever see Apple lose money selling iPhones? You see, Apple is an example of a company that actually has full control over its pricing. But that's not how oil prices work. Consider that in the past 10 years, major oil and gas companies suffered tremendous losses in 2014, 2015, and 2020. In fact, in 2020 the 5 integrated supermajors, i.e., Big Oil, ExxonMobil, BP, Shell, Chevron, in total, lost $76 billion. Oil prices plunged into negative territory in 2020. Were the oil companies feeling especially generous then? Apple, on the other, hasn't lost money once in the past decade. Are their executives being called to Congress to explain why an iPhone costs $800 when they are reaping huge profits? No, of course not. If I may extend the Apple analogy a bit further, it's just about as silly to ask why a share of Apple costs $162 or why Apple is a $2.7 trillion company as it is to wonder why oil companies are charging over $100 for a barrel of oil. Apple doesn't control what people are willing to pay for a share of their stock. Likewise, oil prices are set on an open market by buyers and sellers. ExxonMobil doesn't set oil prices. They are set in the market by how much people are willing to pay, just like with Apple stock. You, as oil companies, are price takers, not price makers.